So how's running going?
Running's been going really, really well. Yeah, I kind of got back into it. Well, I've been running for most of my life, but kind of got really back into it, I would say, a couple of years ago.
Yep.
And then got on the Dadletics train, and it's become more of a priority, I think, in my training.
Yep.
Over the last year.
What's your running schedule like during the week look like?
Yeah, so kind of depends on what I'm focusing on, like event-wise. So I'm doing the full coming up here in October. So it'll be my first full in a few years. And so right now, we're about, I would say, 18 or 19 weeks out, it's just starting to build a little bit of a base.
Yep.
So right now, I'm trying to do 5 days a week of running, and then I try to get here to barbell, try to do 2 days a week, 1 to 2 days a week.
Yep.
And so long runs typically on the weekend. Try to do a little bit of an easy recovery thing on Fridays, because we'll do a Dadletics like interval session, like a heavier speed day on Thursdays, and then some 5 or 6 miles, a couple other days a week.
So that's like your big push day where it's like, okay, I'm coming in, I want to make sure I get to bed a little earlier, fueled up, ready to go.
Yeah, I'll try to hit Wednesday morning power hour, kind of have rested legs, and then go into Thursday, we're fully ready to go.
Cool.
Yeah.
So Dadletics, tell us a little bit about that. We had Tyler on the podcast a little while back, and I think he may have dove into it, and it was smaller. It was maybe you, him, and Pat.
Yeah.
It was right when he had started it, I believe. I don't even know if we dove into it too much, but or if we had gotten to that yet. But tell us a little bit about that and how it's kind of picked up steam and all of that.
Yeah. So I would say we're actually next Thursday, we're doing our 1 year anniversary workout. So
cool.
Yeah, we're coming up on a year. And so it's funny, Tyler Frericks here at the gym, he connected me with Tyler Smith, the guy who started Dadletics about a year ago. So I started going out on Thursday mornings, and I was like, I grew up doing track and cross country.
Yep.
Junior high, high school. And so I've always loved like group running. And so it was nice to have that opportunity to kind of get back and do more like the social community with running, because it can be a very solo sport. And so it's been fun to have that group out there. Bunch of guys that kind of seen in the gym over the years, but never really got to know. And so it's been fun to get to know some of those guys. But yeah, I mean, we've grown. I think Tyler said there's like 27, 28 people on the group chat now, which is crazy, all throughout Ohio, actually. And so, Tyler does the programming. We try and focus it around different like running events through the year. And so right now we're starting the marathon block, with some half marathon options as well. Folks that are wanting to do like the half marathon this fall instead of the full. And then in the spring, we'll probably continue to do the Arnold focus, so the 5K, and then the pump and run.
The pump and run, yeah.
That
was really cool. You guys were cooking. I was at the finish line. Yeah. My mom does it every year, so I go and watch her finish. But I knew you guys were doing it, so I was watching you guys. Like, you guys all came in, and people were like PR and 5Ks, and you guys got fast.
Yeah, I think a lot of it, at least for me, that I've noticed is just when you're kind of by yourself doing those interval sessions, like you can kind of, you know what, I'm going to take this one off a little bit.
100%.
Versus when I've got Tyler, he's usually way out in front of me. Pat's way out in front of me. And I'm trying to like chase them down. It does such a huge like performance addition for me. It's just to have that chase, that motivation to go get them.
You guys have kind of different running styles, I would say, too, just because I know you guys' bodies from being around the gym for 10 years. Where, like, Tyler was a baseball player, a big, strong, explosive athlete who's had to work on his aerobic base, where you were like a cross-country runner who had a big aerobic base. And then so he can push you on the speed stuff as it stretches out and gets longer, him getting into that pace. So you guys can kind of push each other depending on the different days and who's going to be like who's going to have the different strengths. So that's pretty neat to kind of, you bring like a whole bunch of people with different strengths and weaknesses.
Different backgrounds. Yeah. And Tyler's definitely gotten pretty fast, and like, he's probably got, 40 pounds on me, I would say too. So yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. You guys, I thought what was really cool, you guys trained for, it was an all out mile in the winter time.
Yeah. The training in the winter time, I think it, like our participation, I would say, goes down a little bit in the winter time. But I really enjoy the pain for some reason of like, you open up your door, and I like, for some reason, it's like every single day still to this day, like after years and years of running, that like first minute outside, and I'm just like, why in the world am I out here right now?
Oh,
it's so awful.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that winter block was fun. We did a full mile around Up Arlington High School. It was, 6 a.m. But it was fun. Yeah.
Did you guys all PR those miles?
I try to like break my PRs into like after 40.
100%. Yeah.
I would say my after 40, it was, I think I was maybe a couple of seconds off a PR. And I know a bunch of the other guys definitely, PR'd for sure.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do the same thing. We did the summer shred 5K, and I'd had slowed down the last few years, had some like little nagging injuries, and considered it a PR. It was like my best 5K in 3 or 4 years at the end of this year. And I was like, that's a huge win. It's not what I did 15 years ago or whatever it was, but I'm like, all right, we're back in business.
I would say like, as I've gotten older, like I think it's more around just consistency and maintaining. I think for the full though, this year, I do want to have a pretty big drop in the PR is my goal, just because I think I'm in a lot better shape going into it. But the shorter distances, I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, just trying to do what I did last year, or the last race. I think that's good enough for me.
Yeah, your body's change, where that endurance work, I feel like, is something you can keep getting better at. For longer, and the super twitchy stuff is like, that just goes.
Yeah, there's the pain lingers a little bit longer after the super twitchy stuff, I've noticed.
Yeah.
We had some 200s yesterday morning after a couple mile intervals, and I'm feeling the pain a little bit this morning after this. So
yeah, I got to be really careful with the kind of anything under a 400. With my hamstring, I have a hamstring that is. If I practice, I build into it. I can run pretty fast, but it's got to be pretty thoughtful. And like, I'm going to take a month and I'm going to sprint at like 70%, 75, 80, and progress it in. I can't go to the track and run a hard hundreds all out right now. That would be bad.
We did some 100-meter sprints 2 weeks ago, and I'm just gonna run hard, but I'm not sprinting a lot.
Yeah. I know what you mean. It's like a very up tempo run, but it is not I'm putting my head down and
sprint. No.
Yeah. So I think like whether you call it like a tempo run, doing some speed work that you can really feel like I'm getting that really fast hamstring pull, and I'm on the balls of my feet, and I've got that really fast turnover. Like, it doesn't even have to be anything that's timed. I mean, you guys aren't training for sprints or anything, but just incorporating a little bit of that little twitchiness to it, especially like after some running work where you're not going to reach those max speeds. You know what I mean? It's kind of like I know a lot of Pats are doing that, like when you guys are training for the mile, or even the longer stuff, is doing a little bit of speed work after you've kind of fatigued yourself a little bit. So you're not even tempted to reach higher speeds because you can't. You're a little tired.
No,
so
you can't.
And I think it's almost nice because you feel like after a little bit of a workout, you're very warmed up. So and you're not starting off with the speed work. You're maybe like, I'm not quite ready. It's just hard to kind of do that pretty fast. So, cool.
CrossFit. I was doing some .com stuff. It's quite a while ago. I remember. I think I was about 30. And they had just 10 100-meter dashes. I think you took like a 90-second to 2-minute break, something like that.
I think I've seen that. They do that.
Yeah.
They've done that over
Yeah,
the years.
it's just a workout they put. I'm like, I'm going to the track. It's when we're back at the old Rogue in Gahanna. Going to the track. I'm gonna push these hard. And I couldn't have even told you when I was like, I had really ran. And I was in really good shape, really fit, lean. And I pushed these hard. And it wasn't during it. I've never been that sore as I was that day, or not that day. It was 10 days.
Yeah.
My hamstrings were just like, I was walking like, I couldn't like hardly do gym work. It was
they're
crazy.
the engine of sprinting for sure.
Yeah.
And it really does make a difference. I think the older we get to is like, I can, jog on asphalt all day long, outside. But if I'm doing like speed work, or even if I have like trail running is way better. It's just more interesting to look at stuff. I like the up and down, but just being heavier too and bigger, like 200 plus pounds. I like going on softer surfaces, but like either doing some speed work on a track with that softness of that track, or even like if I'm doing sprints. Any of these high schools, they have like the field turf.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll put my soccer cleats on or something and just do it.
That's way better. Yeah.
Yeah. Like now and again, I'm forced to do it somewhere weird, like, out here. It's like, oh man. Yeah. It's
on
not,
the gym floor
yeah,
or something.
It's just not as pleasant, man. I'll be fine during it, but the next time, like, my joints ache. Yeah.
Do you guys ever do any hills? Have you found a hill yet that you guys do?
We were talking about this couple months ago. I was telling Tyler, I think this summer we're gonna look to do some hill stuff.
Yeah,
we used to way long ago when I was in cross country, some fun things we would do in the summer, and I was telling the guys this is we would go meet at a parking garage, and their coach would just tell us like just go up to the top and run right back down.
Yep,
do that 6 or 7 times, and that is a workout.
Oh yeah. Easton. Kate worked at the Easton Lifetime, and when we first started dating, there was this boot camp she would do, and they did a lot of that. So they would run the parking garages, and that was hard.
Yeah,
very hard.
I mean, that's the 5K for Pump and Run this year, where I fell apart was, I think, like with maybe a half mile to go, you're kind of coming up through. Like,
I know that
nationwide arena area.
Yep.
And it's not even that big of a hill, to be honest. Like you're coming up on it, doesn't look that big, but in the moment, I mean, I fell apart like pretty bad on that part, and so it is important to vary your training, your arena that you're training in.
They have a couple. They have a good hill on Grandview Avenue. Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
With that firehouse down by Grandview and Goodale. Yeah, that's a really good one.
That's a good one.
If you want to go on the sidewalk, and then next, it's the same hill, like in Wyman Woods, that park down there. They, the playground, the little shelter and stuff. They like in those woods there's a bunch of trails set back there, but you can find some spots at the bottom where I'll go over there sometimes, and you can do some uphill stuff there. It's you got to watch your feet a little bit. It's at least you're on grass and dirt and stuff. So I do a lot of hill running over there if I'm in the area. It's nice.
We don't have great hills in Central Ohio, though. It's not the best, hill training around here.
Yeah, but for some reason, every event that I do, there's always just hills, and they're just so frustrating. But it's like, why do I not train on these? Even the Columbus 10K I did a couple weeks ago, like just even those slow, gradual hills on like Front Street, and High Street. If you're not used to training on that, it can hurt you pretty bad.
Yeah, even if you've done the half or any of the marathons downtown, like you notice driving, there's a little uphill, downhill grade, but when you're running on your feet in the middle of the street and you're tired, you're like, this is a 1% grade. It feels awful. Like it's crazy how much you
can see the full mile and a half straight ahead of you that you're going up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't seem to help you when you're going down it. You don't notice that too much.
No.
If it's that short downhill, you're just like, when you're going up it, you're like, feels like you're on steps.
Even right over here on Kinnear, you start down by Kenny and just that, even just that gradual hill.
Yeah.
It's a good workout. Just to vary that training arena.
Yeah, I run out that way a decent amount. What I was wondering, I've seen some people get into the shoe and run stairs, but it seems like real random as to when they let people in. I don't know.
that's never really appealed to me.
The stair running?
Stuff. We see there's some folks that do that at the Upper Arlington High School where they're doing our training, and I'm just like, something about it just doesn't appeal to me.
If you have,
I'm just afraid I'm going to fall down.
If you have high enough steps, it is helpful. Yeah. I can tell for hills. When I was in college, in our basketball arena, for boxing, there was a guy who would take me in there, and we'd just run the whole thing, and it would get really steep, and we'd do it for like a half hour. And I just remember my quads getting in great shape. Yep. You know, I just felt like very fit doing that. We'd sprint them up, kind of like run down, and we just do every stair in the whole thing.
I've seen some guys over at Jones, their stadium there, because you can kind of almost do like broad jumps up. I've seen that.
Yeah. Jones just doesn't have enough stairs. Yeah. You know, it's
pretty short. You're middle school.
You're up them, and then like
back down. Yeah.
You're coming down before almost it really gets you. I don't know. I've done the stairs there. It's good for my kids. Like I'll kick them in the ass to go up and down it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's like at Bucknell, we had like kind of like a horseshoe stadium, and it wasn't huge like Ohio State, but it was like you had, cement, stairs and stuff you could go up to in the stadium, and it was fairly tall, but it was just nice because you could just kind of go up, go down, go and just kind of go around the stage. I just love doing that stuff, like sideways stuff or sprint up or like skip 2 steps or skip 3 ones. Yeah. That's where it kind of becomes this kind of like plyometric, like agility type thing, as opposed to like a straight hill, like, just on the ground or dirt.
Gives you some novelty to the training.
Yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So how are you mixing in your strength work to keep your whole body strong? Like while you're doing, that's a lot of running you're doing.
And I would say that's been the biggest challenge for me, is finding that balance. It's like my CrossFit, I guess, journey, if you'd say, or strength journey. Coming out of like high school, college, I was just going to, whatever random gym where I lived in Chicago. And then my mom, she's in her early 70s now. She actually started CrossFit, I want to say in like 2008 or so.
Oh, wow. Cool. OG.
Yeah. So so like seeing her do that, I was like, I can do that. And so I was really motivated. So I have a daughter, she's 11. And so when she was born in 2014, I was really motivated. It's like, you know what? I got to try this CrossFit thing. Cause I want to, I want to be able to pick her up and carry her and throw her in the air and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, I got to do something different. And so that's when I started CrossFit in Chicago when we were living there. Just got really into the sport. When we moved to Columbus in 2016, I ended up getting a job at Rogue Fitness. And so I was there for about 5 years. Obviously you're around the sport. Like 40 hours a week. And so, I got really a lot more into the strength training CrossFit side, and really didn't do the running quite as much, I would say. And then honestly, I was thinking about this earlier this week. I think it was the Summer Shred series that are here that kind of got me back kind of more excited about running again. Yep.
You won that 5K.
I won that 5K. And
I think you said that was like, I think that's the first one I've won.
Yeah. I was like, maybe I should like do more of this. Yeah. And so that actually doing that was kind of like, that was kind of a light bulb moment for me to think about getting back into running a little bit more.
So we signed everyone had to sign up for like a chip timed 5K, like an actual race, not the one we ran.
So that experience got me really back into running. And that's where I started to do probably more like, I would say like a 50% like CrossFit strength training focus, and then 50% running. Yep. And then it was probably the last, I would say 3 or 4 years where honestly, just some of like my work schedule demands, it was just like, I couldn't make it to the gym, and like running is something I could still do.
Yeah, you just need your shoes.
Yeah. And so probably started to go a little bit more on the running side. But now, coming up on mid 40s, like I don't want to go too far into the running side. I do want to maintain a little bit of strength. And so that's just the constant struggle of like, I want to do really well in this marathon in October. So I got to kind of increase my mileage, my base a little bit, which is going to have to sacrifice time that you can get to the gym to do the strength focus. And so it's just seasons, I guess, of life,
100%.
This season I'm focused on running. I think, maybe next year, maybe dial it back a little bit, focus more on like the training side. Yep. I'm still a little high rocks curious, but not quite ready to commit to something like that yet. So.
Sure. Yeah. I think back to your point, especially as we get older and our training age goes up, it's fun to, there's times to balance everything. And then there's times to like dive into a little niche for a while and have a little phase. And I'll do that with Power Hour. I'll jump out of CrossFit for a while sometimes, and I'll just go, hey, I'm going 2 or 3 months, Power Hour only, fill up the strength tank, really get into this. And then I'll get bored with that. And I'm like, I need the novelty of CrossFit every day. Yeah. And I want to do that. And then like running, with Summer Shred, and you got to just mix it up to keep yourself. I think more than anything, it's that mental engagement. Yep. When your why, like especially the less you have to prove to yourself, I think is not maybe quite as big as when you're younger. You have more pressing responsibilities and things. You have to keep it novel and fun.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're not having fun, why even go out there?
Yeah. You gotta have like little things to like train for that pique your interest. And then when it stops, just shift gears a little bit. Yep. It shouldn't feel like you should I need to be getting stronger all the time, or I need to get this 5K time down. And if I don't, I'm doing bad as a person.
Yeah. Like, I mean, would I love to be stronger? Sure. But I'm at kind of like, I'm comfortable, I guess you could say, with my strength.
Yeah.
Just continue to maintain it as you get older.
Yeah. And if the running, starts to like get a little stale, dive into that strength aspect. And then that running will start whispering at you again when you're getting tired of being into the weight.
And just also like thinking about, like, I don't want some like lingering, like long-term stuff just from overuse, of, grinding out 40, 50 mile running weeks for years and years on end.
Are you doing anything like from a prehab perspective with, to keep yourself healthy from running that much?
Yeah, I had some like Achilles issues a few years ago, and so I saw a PT for that and got some good, like, these are the things that you should go and do. Like, you can't just go out to the track and just start sprinting. Yep. Maybe you can do that when you're like, 18, 21, but in your 40s, like, you do have to get your body ready to go and do those things. And so I've got a little bit of a routine that I'll do before I go out and run, and then trying to get better at the stuff where, like, after the kind of the recovery, that stuff. Just, again, it's like finding the time to do it. I know it's important, but you just got to find the time to do it.
Yeah. I think when you do, there's something too, when you do a lot of something though, your body definitely like changes to get more efficient and injury resistant to that. So if you're running 5 days a week, your ankles, calves, and feet, they get really used to running and they get really resilient at that. If you lift heavy weights, like the guys on the Olympic weightlifting platform I see out there every day, like if I Olympic lift once or twice right now, I'm wrecked. That tears my ass up.
Yeah.
But those guys, but they're not doing, the guys who are probably doing that, they're not running 4 days a week. Yeah. They come in here and their body is very used to the cadence and the barbell landing on them, and it's very resilient to that impact and crash of heavy Olympic weightlifting. Yep. So I've really picked that up as I've gotten older. I'll go box with some people here and there, and there's some old guys, like older than me. Like I'm an old dude. Like old dudes don't hang around boxing gyms too much. Like that is a young person's game.
Kind of creepy, I would say, probably. Yeah.
It hurts, and it's like it doesn't really lend itself to being an old guy. But there's some old dudes who do it, and they do it all the time, but they are so efficient. They're not even in shape. They don't even look like they're in good shape, but they're in great shape for that. They barely move, and they like you hit them, and the spots you punch them, it feels like you're hitting like a wall. They're just, the bodies. It's very interesting how they get efficient and resilient to certain activities.
I think probably a bigger thing that I've focused on the last couple of years I've never really put any focus on is nutrition side. Like, when I did like half marathons or a couple marathons, like, 10 decade ago, like I'll have a couple gels maybe, and I just kind of, go with it.
Yep.
But now, like, I've realized, like, dialing in that nutrition and like doing the math, figuring out how many carbs you need, making sure there's like almost over fueling yourself.
Yeah.
That's been a big unlock, I would say, definitely in the last year, is just getting the nutrition dialed in.
Walk me through what you do before a race. So how do you do, like, I'm just interested to understand that.
I would say, so like the 10K, just that's, 6.2 miles. So definitely some carbs like the night before, like probably more of like a bagel, like something easy on the stomach, like an hour and a half, I would say, before the race.
Yep.
And then I'll do some like a gel or something like that, like right at maybe like 5 minutes before the start.
Okay.
And then I'm typically like an every 20 to 25 minute probably nutrition. So like a race like that, I had a gel like halfway through.
Okay.
But like the marathon, like I said, 5 or 7 years ago, I'd have like one gel with me.
Yep.
And now, like for the full in October, I'm going to have like a whole nutrition pack, nutrition kit with me.
Well, probably once you need to start going to it, you need to go to it like fairly frequently.
You need to get ahead of it for sure.
Yeah.
And like seeing your drink there, like the electrolytes and stuff like that has been, like staying on top of your hydration too is big as well.
I think as your body gets older, I've noticed like these kind of things help more, like, or at least I know I'm more cognizant of it.
Yeah.
My wife, being a nutrition coach she's really dialed in with like, I need to eat a lot before hard workouts. And I don't like, my stomach still isn't like completely geared up for like, can eat, like we'll be driving to like run all out for like summer shred. Yeah. She will be eating like a full meal, like, and put it down and go, and is fine. I'm like, I got to put a little time between it.
I've figured out my body needs like 45 to 60 minutes, and then I can notice the difference for sure. But running on an empty stomach like feels awful now. Like, because I'm just so used to it now. I need the carbs.
I've gotten better at it. She's kind of like got me trained where I'm like you now. It's like about 45 minutes to an hour before I can eat like a full meal. She's more about like 5 minutes before that last bite, and she's
If it's like something like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I can eat that like right before I go.
Yeah,
something
I know what
easy
you mean.
on the stomach, a little sweeter. It's not like I'm not gonna be running with like the taste of garlic in my mouth. Like, nope.
Yeah, I will say there are so many options out too in the market to like what you can get. So Mallory's doing, my wife Mallory, she's doing the full also in October, and so we did like a big order of like gels just to try some like different flavors are out there.
Yep.
And so I was on a run. It was like a 10-mile run a couple weeks ago, and I was trying this flavor that I thought sounded really interesting. It was ginger and lime, and I'm like, 8 miles into this run or whatever, and I'm like, go and take this gel, and it tasted like sushi. It was so awful. I was like, how aggressive was the ginger? The ginger was so bad.
Wasabi and ginger gel.
It's hot outside. I feel miserable, and but I need to suck this down, and so I'm just like, squeezing this disgusting purified sushi into my mouth. It was disgusting. So I'd say if that's something you're interested in exploring, definitely try flavors before.
Get your flavor dialed in.
Get your flavor dialed in before you place a big order.
Did you guys ever try that 3 Fuel when it was around? The guy from CrossFit Endurance, it was kind of like their company. It's gone now, and we would actually have people from all over the state, like they'd drive up to get it. It was this very light tasting, it's like a vanilla flavor, but it was like made with like coconut or a little bit of MCT oil, and it had like it was like you could drink this thing, and it had some protein in it, had some fat and carbs, but you could drink this almost like while you were doing CrossFit. But they would have people fuel on this during like triathlons. It was awesome. And we ordered it until like the company just went out of business. And I think I'm going to try and hit the guy up. Like, how did you guys make this? Like, if I could like resurrect this thing, it was the easiest pre-workout meal. I would just have bags on deck, and to your point, like right before a workout, you could have this stuff. It was great. 3 Fuel. If you guys are out there, if there's any left, we want it. So what's your next race? Like, what's your next thing? I know you guys are starting to train. You're training for a full, right?
Yep. So the full is the next big event. That's just it would have been nice to do something in like September, but just with the personal schedule, it's just the full is probably going to be the focus. Yeah.
Are you going to do any like 5Ks or anything in between there?
No, I just with the training that I'm doing, and my just personal life commitments.
Doesn't make any sense to do anything.
Doesn't make any sense to do it. As you've got kids that are getting older, like, the fall schedule fills up really quickly. Tyler and I we're going to try and do the Grandview, the mile that was last weekend during the criterium. But like, he had something pop up, one of his kids had some baseball thing, and like, I had something pop up, and I was like, oh well.
Yeah,
life happens. Yeah.
It rained on Wednesday, and so tonight got baseball.
Yep.
And we had a whole Father's Day planned for Kate's dad, and that's out the window now. Yep. So I get it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, man, I really just wanted to have you on. You've been a great member, and it's been cool to see this group that you guys are in. I wanted to bring someone in from it and talk a little bit about, like, it's just cool to see people from our community, like, kind of have these subgroups and push each other. And I'm actually going to make a post. You'll see it on Instagram. It's kind of to this point where something about, it's not the equipment and the stuff here. We have good equipment and all of that, but it's really almost the idea behind like people coming here to push and be a part of something and as a group help each other get better, rather than, and nothing against any others, but like, just like you sign up for a gym and then you've got headphones and you're wandering around and you don't ever see anyone or know anybody. And that's really what we're trying to foster here is like what you guys are doing. And I just think it's so cool.
And it really is all levels. I think, I wouldn't be intimidated by, if you think it's like a group of like fast dads or fast guys, it's definitely all levels. We've got varying experience and history with running, and some folks that are a lot more newer. Yep. I mean, like Mike Gold, he's part of it, and he's going to do a half like this fall.
Sweet.
And like, it's a great group. I'm so glad that Tyler has been kind of pushing it along for the last year.
Very cool. Well, hey, Dave, thank you for being here.
For sure.
Appreciate it, man.
Good luck.